When we think about the energy transition, from my perspective, it's really important that we're very much thinking on a whole system basis. That means all the time we need to be thinking cross-sector, electricity, gas, of course, the transition to hydrogen and what that might look like. It's a really important part of the energy mix, and it's a really important part of our considerations going forward. I think there's some really important aspects of government policy that we need to see coming forward. Some critical areas around how we think strategically about planning for the energy transition. But of course, there's then some really specific questions that we need to answer. What is the heat transition going to look like? When, where, and how are we going to bring new technologies, new solutions onto the grids? Lots of important policy considerations. From a NESO perspective, one of the things we're spending a lot of time thinking about is long-term sort of strategic energy system planning. And as we do that, it's really important that we're able to get to grips with both nationally and regionally, what does supply and demand look like on the grid? What infrastructure needs to be built where to support that? How will we ensure that we get all of the appropriate network reinforcement to give us what we need? In respect of the challenges for net zero, it's really important that we get some clarity on some of the big policy decisions that are going to help inform that transition. It's also really important that we think about, once we have a plan, how are we going to get there? Spent a lot of time this evening talking to people about skills gaps, about supply chain gaps. It's not just about thinking about the technologies themselves, the grids, the networks. It's thinking about how are we going to support that transition.